The J-7 story began as a copy of the MiG-21. However, over time, China's original engineering made this bird distinct from the Soviet fighter, resulting in a unique aircraft. Today, we're investigating the J-7, another milestone in China's foundation of a modern aviation industry. At the outset, the J-7 was indeed nothing more than a poor copy of the MiG-21. NATO referred to both aircraft as Fishbed, not even bothering to give the Chinese model a distinctive name. Though the story changes with each new J-7 variant, as it became significantly different from its Soviet ancestor and ultimately earned its own designation, Fishcan. The story began in 1961 when China secured a license to produce the MiG-21 F-13 and the RF-11F-300 turbojet engine from the USSR. The Soviets soon sent drawings, technical documentation, several completed fighters, and kits for local assembly. However, 1961 also marked the Sino-Soviet split. Relations had been deteriorating since 1956 following Khrushchev's denunciation of Stalin and Stalinism. Therefore, before all the technical documentation was transferred, Moscow revoked the MiG-21 license along with all previous scientific and technical cooperation. Consequently, in early 1964, Beijing tasked Guizhou Aircraft Industry Corporation, or GAIC, with cloning the MiG-21 F-13 as the J-7. Within a year, the first prototype was completed for static testing. The second prototype, built for flight testing, made its maiden flight on January 17, 1966. Its only visible difference was the drag parachute, now located in a compartment in the lower fuselage. China had not received some critical documentation for the R-11F-300. As a result, its clone, the WP-7, was not successful. With outputs of 38.9 kN dry and 49.2 kN with afterburner, the engine had only a 100-hour lifespan. Several turbine blades broke during test flights. Some sources claim that later prototypes used original engines from previously delivered MiG-21s. The first production J-7 rolled off the assembly line in June 1967. It included several minor modifications from the MiG-21, most notably an adjustable air intake cone and a drag chute container at the base of the vertical stabilizer. At this stage, China had not yet produced an indigenous air-to-air missile. To address this issue, Chinese engineers had added a second 30mm Type 30-1 cannon, a copy of the Soviet NR-30, to the lower fuselage. The Cultural Revolution negatively affected the program. Engineers and test pilots were often assigned to agricultural communes. Many were accused of being enemies of the communist cause. Some were executed, while others underwent so-called re-education. Additionally, during the Great Leap Forward, Beijing decided to expand J-7 production from GAIC to include Shenyang Aircraft Corporation, or SAC, and Chengdu Aircraft Corporation, or CAC. This decision caused serious complexity in the program. Production ceased after only 11 aircraft were delivered. Nevertheless, China exported the J-7's export variant, the F-7, to Albania in 1967 and Tanzania in 1968. In 1968, the PLAAF ordered the improved J-7-1 variant, which included an additional cannon and a new ranging radar with extended range. It was powered by the WP-7B engine, producing 43.15 kN of dry thrust and 59.83 kN with afterburner. However, the turbojet remained unreliable and had a lifespan of only 200 hours. The J-7-1 also carried 100 liters less fuel. China produced approximately 150 units. Its J-7-1G and F-7A variants were exported to North Korea and Egypt respectively. In the early 1980s, CAC began serial production of the J-7-2, later redesignated as the J-7B. This version featured a fixed central cone instead of an adjustable air intake and a relocated drag parachute container. A new 720-liter central external fuel tank extended the aircraft's range. The J-7B featured an improved ejection seat, enabling low-altitude ejection at speeds from 250 to 850 km per hour. This enhancement improved PLAAF pilot survival rates, particularly given concerns about engine reliability. With this variant, the aircraft gained the ability to launch air-to-air missiles. The PL-2 missile was a copy of the Soviet K-13, whose NATO reporting name is AA-2 Atoll, which itself was a copy of the US AIM-9 Sidewinder. North Korea was the first foreign customer for the J-7B. Iraq and Egypt acquired their own variants designated as F-72C and F-7B respectively. These models could launch French R-550 Magic air-to-air missiles. After the People's Republic of China became the recognized representative of China, Beijing improved relations with Western countries and gained access to their technology. CAC then developed the J-7-2M variant with British avionics for domestic use. Later redesignated as the J-7M, the aircraft was equipped with a new tactical display, Type 226 Skyranger radar, a digital computer, a radio altimeter, an IFF system, radio coding equipment, and a Type 956 head-up display, all supplied by GEC Marconi. It also featured the new indigenous HTY-4 ejection seat and the more reliable WP-5BM engine. The upgraded electronics allowed the J-7M to carry the PL-7, a Chinese reverse-engineered version of the French R-550 Magic, and the PL-8, a licensed copy of the Israeli Python 3. The J-7M also featured two additional pylons. These upgrades increased the aircraft's weight, so engineers installed stronger landing gear and an onboard electric generator. However, the PLAAF did not adopt this version. But the F-7M export variant, equipped with the Martin Baker Mark 10L ejection seat, gained international popularity. Iran became the first customer by acquiring the F-7N version. Myanmar's F-72K, later redesignated as the F-7BK, has Chinese avionics. Zimbabwe bought the F-72N, later renamed as the F-7BN. Bangladesh chose the F-7MB. Operated by the Sri Lankan Air Force, the F-7BS retains the F-7B's fuselage and simple Chinese avionics, but features the F-7M's wings. Tailored to the Pakistan Air Force's specific requirements, the F-7MP featured US-made communications and IFF equipment, a Chinese LR-2 radar warning receiver, an Italian Grifo 7 fire control radar, and a Martin Baker Mark 10 ejection seat. It could launch R-550 Magic and IM-9 Sidewinder air-to-air missiles. The improved F-7P version incorporated updated electronics and an HTY-4 ejection seat. Developed by SAC instead of CAC, the J-7 III closely resembled the MiG-21 MF. It included a fire control radar for all-weather capability and was powered by a WP-13F engine delivering 44.1 kilonewtons of dry thrust and 64.7 kilonewtons with afterburner. The turbojet's service life is approximately 900 hours. Later redesignated as the J-7C, the aircraft featured a canopy that opened to the right rather than the front. Production remained limited. In 1990, another clear weather variant of the CAC-developed aircraft, J-7-4, made its maiden flight. Later redesignated as the J-7E, it is fitted with double delta wings, retaining the original 57-degree leading-edge sweep inboard while reducing it to 42 degrees outboard. This change increases the wingspan by 1.17 meters and the wing area by 1.88 square meters. It has better maneuverability and enhanced takeoff and landing performance compared to earlier variants. Furthermore, the J-7E includes an onboard computer and a head-up display. Based on the J-7E, the F-7MG features upgraded avionics, including a fire control radar for all-weather capability. Bangladesh operates the F-7BG variant. Namibian F-7NMs and Nigerian F-7NIs are equipped with the KLJ-6E fire control radar, while Pakistani F-7PGs have the Grifo MG. Introduced into the PLAAF service in 2004, The J-7G is equipped with the ELM-2032 fire control radar, hands-on throttle and stick controls, and a WP-13F engine. Tanzania operates the F-7TN variant of the J-7G, which is equipped with the KLJ-6E fire control radar. The F-7GS is customized to meet requirements of the Sri Lanka Air Force. The F-7BGI, the final version, was produced for Bangladesh. J-7 production ended after 16 of these fighters were delivered. The JJ-7 and JJ-7A twin-seat conversion training models were developed and produced by GAIC. The FT-7 series is the export variant. The GAIC JL-9 is based on the JJ-7. In the late 1980s, CAC and Northrop developed the Super 7, an export-oriented version of the J-7M. The project was cancelled due to US sanctions on China after the 1989 Tiananmen Square incident. Chinese engineers later used the experience from this program to develop the FC-1 JF-17. According to Military Balance 2026 edition of the International Institute for Strategic Studies, Bangladesh, China, Iran, Myanmar, Namibia, Nigeria, North Korea, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe still operate the aircraft. Albania, Egypt, and Iraq retired their F-7s. The single-seat J-7MG variant has a length of 14.88 meters, a wingspan of 8.32 meters, a height of 4.11 meters, and a wing area of 24.88 square meters. The aircraft's empty and maximum takeoff weights are about 5,290 and 9,100 kilograms respectively. One 64.7 kilonewton Lian WP-13F afterburning turbojet engine provides a top speed of Mach 2. The J-7MG has a range of 2,200 kilometers and a combat radius of 850 kilometers. The combat jet service ceiling is 17,500 meters, equivalent to 57,400 feet. The aircraft has two 30mm Type 30-1 cannon and 5 hardpoints with a capacity of 4,000 kilograms of ordnance. It can carry PL-2, PL-5, PL-7, PL-8, PL-9, K-13, R-550 Magic, and AIM-9 air-to-air missiles, bombs, and rocket pods. When the J-7 entered PLAAF service, Taiwanese and US reconnaissance flights over China were common. At the same time, US jets occasionally intruded into Chinese airspace during bombing missions over North Vietnam. From 1969 to 1971, J-7s reportedly shot down 6 intruding aircraft and 300 reconnaissance balloons. In 1975, Soviet MiG-23s and SA-7 Manpads teams shot down at least 2 Chinese J-7s due to border violations. PLAAF Fishcans provided close air support during the 1979 Sino-Vietnamese War, although adverse weather limited their effectiveness. During the Uganda-Tanzania War, Tanzanian F-7s served extensively in close air support, strike, and air-to-air combat roles. Although they played a crucial role in the victory, 3 aircraft were shot down by friendly fire over Mosoma on November 3, 1978. During the Iran-Iraq War, both sides used their F-7s against each other. While the Iraqis assigned their Fishcans to frontline missions, the Iranians tasked them with protecting critical infrastructure behind the front lines. The remaining Iraqi F-7s were destroyed in the 2003 war. Many Iranian aircraft were similarly lost during the 2026 war. The Myanmar Air Force has deployed F-7s in both the civil war and anti-drug operations. Sri Lankan aircraft, which have repeatedly conducted ground attack missions against the separatist forces, also shot down a Zilin-143. In 1998, Zimbabwean F-7s attacked airfields and rebel targets in eastern central Democratic Republic of the Congo. They targeted several airfields in the region, as well as rebel and Rwandan communications and depots in the Kisangani area. Being a reverse-engineered copy of the MiG-21 has not changed anything. The J-7 played an essential role in the development of China's military aviation industry and provided invaluable experience for Chinese aeronautical engineers. Thanks to the Fishcan, this country became a major supplier of combat jets to the global market. Combat-proven J-7 is a true legend in every respect. Thanks for watching our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of our new videos. For more contents like this, please consider clicking the join button to support our channel. And as always, we would greatly appreciate all of your likes, comments and shares.